Happy evening, everybody. Most of the time, I am the last man standing, as you say in the cricket. And a lot of things have already been said. The panel discussion was very nice, and the topic that I've chosen is designing for resilience, especially adapting to coastal architecture. A lot of things said in the panel discussion, so I'll try avoid repeating a lot of things. Introduction is not really needed. Everybody is already aware about the global warming and things like that. One, I would like to bring your attention to the other aspect of things. One of the important things that I've learned during working is something I call learning to unlearn. A lot of time we always, as we grow older or we carry a lot of baggage with us, we understand world in a certain way, and we think that it is going to be only in that way. Learning to unlearn means, for example, everybody says when there will be global warming, ice will melt and water will rise. Well, by one definition, we know that ice occupies more volume than water. You know it when you put a glass bottle in the refrigerator, it breaks when it freezes. So when the ice will melt, maybe the water will go down. So you have to think in different ways when you are solving problems. It is not that only in one way that you keep continuing. So understanding the context is very, very important, and it has to be seen from all sides. If you only see it from one side, of course, you lead to a solution, but then that solution also becomes a problem later on. Not going to smaller examples, everybody knows things that we have done. People here in this city would be more aware of what we have done for the coastal areas. I have experience in Netherlands. I've worked there for 7-8 years. Interesting thing about Netherlands is the whole country has been under the sea level, and they are one of the best water management people we see around the world. If it rains there, after 2 minutes, there is no trace of water anywhere. You can walk anywhere and things like that. And sustaining a city or actually a country under the sea level at all times is magic in itself. Their symbol of the windmill as the mascot or a symbol of Netherlands that we see was actually used to carry water on the levels up and then eventually disposing it into the oceans, and that's how they used to manage water earlier. There are, of course, they also have made dikes, like we have made dikes here to keep control of the coastal areas, and they have managed to keep the water at bay. One of the very interesting things was when Hitler was, during the World War II, Hitler was attacking the whole world, and Hitler threatened to attack Netherlands. Netherlands at that time said that they'll break the dikes, all the water will come into the country and nothing will be left. So Hitler could not attack Netherlands, but after the 7th year, the winter was so harsh that the water was almost frozen, and then the whole Rotterdam was bombarded. So again, nicer stories to find out what things are happening around us. Another nice example of what we have been thinking is that because of global warming, everything is going to heat up. Another thing is when all the glaciers melt, currently there is a heat in the ocean and the water moves from the equator to the poles. When the ice will melt, water will actually move from the poles towards the center, and it could actually mean colder climates to certain areas. And in Netherlands, they believe it will become colder because of the global warming. Again, something to ponder about. But coming to the topic that we are talking, that I had to talk about resilient structures in the coastal areas. Of course, there are ways of doing it. I'll just touch upon them very quickly. There are dikes, like we talk about. They're named in various ways. They can be roads. They can be systems within the seas. They're sometimes also referred to as sea walls. There are traditional methods, and then there are also problems to these traditional methods. There are special approaches that we have. One is having floating buildings. The buildings actually rise up and down according to the rise of the water itself. There are elevated buildings which we can definitely use in terms when we know that the water is going to rise at a certain level. But when it comes to building for resilience, when the water will rise from whatever has been predicted, of course, this technique would also fail. What it basically means that there has to be an integrated approach to the whole system. Of course, people have talked about top-down approach, wherein the government level actually gives in some ideas and rulings, and CRZs are planned and things like that. And there are also been talked about bottom-down approach, wherein you involve the locals, you find out what is happening in the local context, you plant more vegetation around, or you move a little further away and stuff like that, and things like that. And it was very interesting to see the panel discussion happening, wherein somebody was saying that we should use smart technologies, and somebody was saying that we as a builder should get a lot of things, as Dubai has. Dubai, for example, planned 3 palm things out of the ocean, where it pumped out sand from the ocean bed and actually made the islands. And while it was making the world island, it was discovered that a lot of coastline was getting eroded. What the smart technology can help us with is we imitate all that on a computer and see if what we do to the city in a certain way, how the ocean or how the natural forces will behave, and we'll be able to predict more, and hence we'll know how much we can do and how much we have to restrict ourselves in certain ways. One of the other examples is beach nourishment. It is, of course, when the sand gets eroded, you can replenish the beaches in certain ways. Of course, nature still pays its form, and again, the beaches forms their own nice dunes formation eventually in the end. In the end, I would only like to say that a lot of it is everything is about collaboration. You have to have innovative techniques, collaboration, creative ideas to come back and sit together like everybody is saying. You should have committees which can do that. One thing which I certainly see, a lot of things which India in general needs a lot of development in. Somebody talked about education already. But the connection between the education and the industry, which happens over the West very, very easily. They have open houses, the industries go actually to the colleges, tell them what has to be taught. Vice versa, the colleges are doing a lot of projects which have actual intervention to the real world. They collaborate with real developers, partners, and do real research in the education sphere itself. We have a lot of potential. There is so much of young generation that we have, and there are a lot of schools which are doing that. If the industries and the academics can come together and make things happen, I think it can change the world, especially for us, in very different ways. That's it from my side. Thank you so much.